Hi guys, happy Saturday. December 6th here. Um, let's just get to the punchline. They're not narco terrorists, they're refugees. They're going to Trinidad. They're refugees, they're going to Trinidad or some other place. Trinidad is only like 7 miles away. You don't fill a boat with 11 people to go fishing. Or go 2,000 plus miles to the US or for D's or pew pews, okay? They're refugees, okay? So if they're refugees, this is M, murder, okay? That's really it. And it's not a war crime because there's no war. You don't have a war with refugees. So let's just get into it. They're in big trouble. And FYI, this is, if we're right, we're the first ones to say that they're refugees, and the media has not picked up on it. That's not good news, but it will be in the context of what happens to whiskey and taco. Okay, so this is also connected to ICE and what's happening in the US. So we'll get into that as well. But the bottom line here is I think we're the first ones to say it. We have the evidence to show it. And let's see if the actually what is the case, because you have a boat filled with people that don't have D's and they don't have weapons, and where are they going? What they're doing is going to Trinidad, escaping the dictator regime of Maduro in Venezuela, and they've just had enough. That's what happens every day in other countries like that, like Cuba, right? So obviously that's not the case now with what's going on in the US, but typically it was the case for decades with Cuba. People were in boats, swimming, doing whatever they needed to do to get to Miami, to Florida. So this is the same thing. This is their version of people coming from Cuba to the United States. FYI, they weren't coming to the United States. The United States is 2,000 plus miles away. Okay, so this boat doesn't have enough gas to support that because the boat can only go 50, 100, 150 miles maybe at most. They're going 7 miles, okay? 7 miles equivalent. And by the way, 7 miles equivalent is pretty far in water, okay? So 11 people, they didn't make basically the 7 miles because they were attacked multiple times. So I want to make sure you understand that context, okay? And let's find out if you're all right.
The two truths that will blow open the Hegseth scandal. No one in media, Congress, think tanks, or human rights groups has put this together yet. One truth number one. The boats were almost certainly refugees, not narco-terrorists, ***. Here's what every outlet missed. Distance. Fuel range. Boat type. Passenger load. Geography. Known migration routes. 0 drugs found. 0 weapons shown. All point to one conclusion. Backhand index pointing out these boats were Venezuelan refugees trying to reach Trinidad, not narco traffickers traveling 2,000 plus miles to the US. Backhand index pointing right, it is physically impossible for these small boats to sail to the US without 20 plus refuel stops. Backhand index pointing right, refugee boats equals civilians. Backhand index pointing right, killing civilians equals murder. And that is exactly what Hegseth authorized again and again. White medium star refugee reality scorecard. Factor. Narco boat? Refugee boat? Overloaded with 11 plus people. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark yes. No drugs visible. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark yes. No weapons. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark yes. Small fuel tanks. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark yes. Short, shallow crossing to Trinidad. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark yes. 2,000 plus mile trip to US. Cross mark impossible. Cross mark impossible. Matches known migration patterns. Cross mark no. White heavy check mark 100%. Refugees, not narcos. This flips. Legality. Morality. Politics. Consequences. And turns Pete Hegseth from tough on cartels into backhand index pointing out a man who killed refugees fleeing a dictatorship. White medium star new evidence. CNN survivors were waving for help. CNN reports. Backhand index pointing out the 2 survivors were waving at the aircraft before the next strikes. Who waves if they're a threat? Who waves if they're armed traffickers? Who waves if they're attacking America? Only one category of people wave at military aircraft. Backhand index pointing right, refugees begging not to be killed. This single fact on video, confirmed, destroys the government narrative. Truth number 2. ICE and the boat killings are the same system of anti-refugee violence ***. The connection NO1 has made. ICE abuses migrants on U.S. soil. Hegseth kills migrants at sea. Same ideology. Same rhetoric. Same victims. Same architects. Stephen Miller. Kristi Noem. Donald Trump. Pete Hegseth. They push the same lie. Backhand index pointing out they are violent criminals. But new reporting shows. Backhand index pointing out 90% plus of ICE arrests are nonviolent. Backhand index pointing out most have zero criminal history. Backhand index pointing out these people are refugees, not criminals. Just like the people in the boats. White medium star the double front system scorecard. Location. Target. Lie used. Reality. United States U.S. soil ICE. Migrants. Violent criminals. 90% plus nonviolent. Water wave Caribbean Sea. Venezuelan boats. Narco-terrorists. Refugees fleeing Maduro. Architects. Miller/Trump/Hegseth/Noem. Fear plus dehumanization. Creates justification for violence. Backhand index pointing out this is one doctrine of cruelty, domestic plus international. Keycap 3 why no one saw this until now. The media is siloed. Immigration reporters ICE. Foreign policy reporters Venezuela. Defense reporters Pentagon. Human rights orgs regional divides. Congress reacts after the press connects dots. No one stitched together the pattern. Backhand index pointing out ICE abuses nonviolent refugees on land. Backhand index pointing right Hegseth kills nonviolent refugees at sea. It becomes undeniable. Backhand index pointing right this is not border security. This is state violence against refugees. Keycap 4Y refugee changes everything. If the boats were refugees. Backhand index pointing out this becomes a refugee massacre, not a war crime technicality. Backhand index pointing right it rises to my lie plus Abu Ghraib plus Iran-Contra levels. Backhand index pointing right it triggers crimes against humanity jurisdiction. Backhand index pointing right it destroys the Trump/Hegseth narrative instantly. The greatest risk? Why medium star survivors could have told the truth. So they were eliminated. Why medium star fired Keycap 5 motivations behind the killings. There is not one motive. There are 5, and together they form the clearest picture yet. 1. Bloodlust. Public statements reveal enjoyment. Gratifying. Until they learn their lesson. Your wishes are command. This is pleasure in killing powerless people. 2. Distraction from other scandals. The killings coincided with Epstein file pressure, DOJ turmoil, collapsing narratives. They needed external victories. 3. Steps to undermine Maduro, killing refugees, terrorizes coastal communities, disrupts escape routes, pressures Maduro, sets pretext for regional stabilization. It is the beginning of covert regime change logic. 4. Extension of anti-Latino policy already seen in ICE. The same ideology. ICE domestic refugees votes international refugees. Same architects. Same racial animus. Same victims. 5. Nothing good. Not defense. Not security. Not law enforcement. Just. Backhand index pointing right cruelty. Backhand index pointing right propaganda. Backhand index pointing right dehumanization. Backhand index pointing right murder. Keycap 6-4 strike kill chain scorecard. Strike. What happened? Legal impact. 1. Initial attack. Illegal. No war declared. 2. Survivors waving. Struck again. Murder. 3. Continued engagement. Pattern of intent. 4. Final elimination. Silencing witnesses. Senator, it was 4 strikes. Pentagon, 1 or 2. Backhand index pointing right cover-up equals consciousness of guilt. Why medium star the cabinet meeting smoking gun? This is the moment that will be replayed in every hearing. On December 2nd, 2025, Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump gave the most incriminating statements of the entire scandal. Police Scarlett Hegseth, 34:28. We're stopping the drugs. We're striking the boats. We're defeating narco-terrorists. Devastating because he knew no drugs were found. He knew no weapons were seen. He knew the boats couldn't reach the U.S. He knew survivors were waving. He knew they were civilians. This is intentional misclassification, the legal foundation of murder. Police Scarlett Trump, 34:58. Drugs coming in by sea are down 91%. I don't know who the 9% is. This is pure propaganda math, not intelligence. It reveals political motive, deception, fabrication of results, intent to mislead the public. Together, these 2 statements are the smoking gun. Why medium star news scorecard, the smoking gun? Evidence. What it proves. Legal meaning. Hegseth, we are defeating narco-terrorists. New refugees called terrorists. Intent, deception, fraud. Trump, down 91%. Fabricated success metric. Consciousness of guilt. CNN, survivors waving. They were civilians. Killing protected persons. No drugs/weapons. Narco claim impossible. Knowing false pretext. This alone is enough to. Backhand index pointing I trigger a special counsel backhand index pointing I trigger congressional referrals backhand index pointing I justify international investigations backhand index pointing right destroy the administration's defense. White medium dark keycap 7. What else do we need to know? Complete scorecard. Question. Status. Impact. Fisherman? Crossmark no. Groups of 11 plus never fish this way. Armed? Crossmark no. No weapons shown. Drugs? Crossmark no. No evidence. Heading to US? Crossmark impossible. CNN confirms they weren't. Destination? White heavy checkmark Trinidad. Known refugee route. Legal war? Crossmark no. Congress never authorized. First strike legal? Crossmark no. No war equals no authority. Later strikes legal? Crossmark absolutely not. Survivors waiving equals protected persons. Systemic? White heavy checkmark yes. ICE plus Hegseth aligned. Backhand index pointing I all 4 strikes were murder. Backhand index pointing I other strikes likely murder as well. White medium dark keycap 8 who investigates. DOJ. Homicide, conspiracy, civil rights killings. OAS/Inter-American Commission. Refugee massacres. Congress. Impeachment plus criminal referrals. JAG. Can prosecute military participants, operators, commanders, JAG officers. JAG cannot prosecute Hegseth, civilian, but JAG prosecutions can incriminate him through testimony. White medium dark keycap 9 can Trump be charged under UCMJ. Crossmark no, civilians cannot be court-martialed. But white heavy checkmark Trump can face charges under War Crime Statute, 18 U.S.C. Section 2441. Federal Homicide Statutes. Conspiracy laws. Crimes against humanity frameworks. If he encouraged or approved the strikes. Backhand index pointing out he shares criminal liability. Why medium dark keycap 10 why this blows up before February 20th, 26. December 4th full moon first cracks. January 2026 Cancer full moon public emotional shift. Cancer equals refugees, families. February 20th, 2026 Saturn. Neptune at 0 degrees Aries accountability plus truth exposure. This astro timeline aligns perfectly with how the scandal is unfolding. White mediums are the line that will define the scandal. I told you this in December 2025, when everyone else was still repeating narco boats. White medium star final summary. 2 truths blow open the entire scandal. Keycap 1 these boats were refugees, not narcos. Keycap 2 IC plus Hegseth are the same anti-refugee violence system. These insights reshape legality, morality, political fallout, public outrage, international consequences. And they turned Pete Hegseth from a warrior hero into backhand index pointing right the man who killed refugees fleeing a dictatorship and lied about it. The media will catch up in weeks, not months. This is the turning point.
There you go. They're in big trouble. And so all we need to do is be right that they are refugees, and we think we are. We basically have shown our evidence of that, our thought process of that. Are they going some other place than Trinidad? Possibly. But Trinidad is the top location for them. Actually, there's already a lot of Venezuelans in Trinidad that people in Trinidad don't want and don't like. And so are they going to Trinidad? Are they going to some other location nearby Trinidad? It doesn't necessarily matter, okay? We think it's Trinidad, but it could be some other place. The point here is they're not going to the U.S., number one. That is a fact. They are most likely refugees, number two. And number three, if you basically harm them, you're engaging in murder. And that's what happened. That harm was actually killing, okay, in these 4 strikes. And by the way, that's September 2nd. What happened prior to that, or what happened after that, and even yesterday, October 5th, is when he said that there was another strike, killing presumably 4 people. Well, guess who they were? They were also refugees. So when you kill refugees, guess what happens? You get tried, and you get in trouble, and you get removed. And so he either will be removed or will have to resign. It doesn't necessarily matter, but his fate is sealed. Taco's fate is sealed. We have to go through the process, and we're going through the process right now. Okay?